Good evening and welcome, everyone. I am Mark Belisack, the Law Enforcement Academy Director, and today I would like to recognize virtually what we could not do in person for the Spring 2020 graduating class of the Red Rocks Community College Law Enforcement Academy. As many of you know, my name is Mark Belisack. I'm a retired police officer with 25 years of law enforcement experience in a few different agencies. I've been the Academy Director for almost 3 years now. I have a Bachelor of Science in Education, a Master's in Criminal Justice, a graduate of the 209th session of the FBI National Academy. Before we begin, though, I would like to conduct some Academy business. This semester was very challenging for both students and staff. We were the first Academy in Colorado to transition to a virtual classrooms and blended learning setting when all in-person education was stopped. This could not have been done, could not have been possible without the perseverance of the Academy staff, many of whom are working police officers, deputy DAs. Our program made it through when others are still trying to finish, and this was because our instructional cadre are an amazing group of educators. If they were here and if you're watching, I would just like to recognize all of you for an amazing job during this time. This semester, we are also losing our student hourly worker who's been with us for the past 2 years. I don't think Roman Valdez had any idea what he was getting into when he signed up to be our student worker. But he quickly became part of the Academy family, and he will be missed. I would also like to recognize the administration that helped us through this challenging time. Dean Jen Mackin, Vice President Linda Como, and President of the college, Michelle Haney, all had a hand in helping us get our program through this semester. It took a lot of people to make this program happen. So the Spring 2020 class will not have a traditional graduation, but through this video, I hope to recognize virtually what we could not do in person. This week, our graduates will join or begin applying for positions in a profession that faces many challenges. Not one of them has ever expressed to me fear or reservations about doing their job. And it is this kind of bravery in the face of real adversity that make this class unique among all others. Now, traditionally, we have our college leadership here with us at graduation. We have the college president, the college vice president, and the dean of instruction over our area. Each one of them has graciously volunteered to provide some video remarks, welcoming you, congratulating you, and showing their appreciation for your efforts this semester. So with that, I would like to introduce the college president, Michelle Haney, the college vice president, Linda Como, and dean of instruction, Jen Mackin, for their video presentations.
Hi, I'm Michelle Haney, and I'm president of Red Rocks Community College, and I'd like to first congratulate you on a job well done. You're entering a profession that takes passion, that takes commitment, and I admire what you're doing. I admire you going through a program that was really very tough. Tough for you, and probably tough for your family and friends. So again, let me say congratulations. Thank you for being one of our students. It has been an honor. Have a great day.
Hi, it's Linda Como. I'm the Vice President of Instruction here at Red Rocks, and I wanted to add mine to the many congratulatory messages that I'm sure you're getting. So congratulations, one, on choosing such a wonderful, honorable profession. And just as a citizen, I want to thank you for what you're going to do and for your service, because I believe that law enforcement and all of our first responders are the true heroes of our society. So thank you for choosing to be in law enforcement. Congratulations on choosing Red Rocks. I'm entirely biased, but I think you made the absolute best choice of premier programs in the state. I want to say congratulations for finishing this program and getting to this point of putting in the thousands of hours of hard work and reaching those competencies. But I particularly want to give you my admiration and respect to you and your family and your support systems for completing this program and getting to graduation, particularly in this semester. You know, there have been extra challenges, and we're so proud of you for having gone through that and conquered those challenges and gotten to the point of graduation. So congratulations to all of you, And please know that we are so proud, and we're so proud to call you Red Rocks alumni now. Have a wonderful, wonderful career.
Congratulations, graduates of the Red Rocks Law Enforcement Academy. You did it! I know it wasn't easy. It's never easy, nor should it be. Law enforcement is a sacred duty to protect and serve. And as such, you've completed an intense, rigorous, and at moments uncertain journey. And you made it to the finish line. I hope you can take special pride in your accomplishments, knowing that you didn't just complete, but completed in an unexpected way. Your tenacity and your perseverance have served you well. The Law Enforcement Academy at Red Rocks is very special to the college. We are invested in our community, and as such, we take great pride in educating and developing the next generation of law enforcement officers. We are so thankful for Mark's leadership for the Academy, and particularly in this semester, where he was able to rapidly transition to remote learning and find creative ways to ensure you all could complete your training. Thank you, Director Belichick. Now, graduates, as you head off into exciting new roles, please remember the values of Red Rocks. And I'm sure you all know them off the top of your head, but please indulge me as I read them just in case some of you don't. They're collaboration, communication, learning, integrity, and inclusiveness. Our institutional values are our foundation, and we hope that you've felt them during your time here. These principles can also serve as guideposts along your career. They can remind us all in difficult times to prioritize the humanity in each other. Perhaps now, more than ever, society is challenged by disconnection, anxiety, and fear. And you will serve a critical role in keeping our communities safe and helping them manage their emotions as we wait through these uncertain times. Your service will be marked by your conduct, your compassion, and your courage. So be brave, be kind, and enjoy being done with class, at least for a little while. You've certainly earned it. We are all so, so proud of you. Congratulations to the COVID cohort of 2020.
So now I'd like to introduce our class president, Joe Galvez, who will give the class president's message. Joe Galvez comes to us from the Arvada Police Department, and he has some brief remarks. Joe, take it away.
Good evening, honored guests, family, and friends, and fellow classmates. We are here to celebrate the graduation of the Spring 2020 Red Rocks Community College Police Academy. 18 weeks ago, 24 brave individuals began the academy with one common goal: to successfully meet the necessary requirements to be a police officer in the state of Colorado. I'm honored to speak on their behalf, and I'm proud to say that today that goal became a reality. The transformation that we experienced is nothing short of amazing. We endured countless hours of criminal law, building search and seizure, rapid deployment, arrest control tactics, firearms training, and much more. We applied these newly learned skills into practical scenarios. We have suffered many bumps and bruises from defensive training and sore wrists from handcuffing. As a whole, we learned the hard way that taking a shower does not relieve the pain of OC spray, and that you have absolutely no control over what you say or what noises you make when you become tased. There was one common theme throughout all of our training. Each and every one of our instructors are passionate about building us into police officers. Their knowledge, experience, and patience is second to none. The Red Rocks Police Academy is one of the most reputable programs in the state of Colorado. It was a privilege and an honor to attend this academy. On behalf of the graduating class, I'd like to thank first and foremost family, spouses, friends for the support throughout the journey. Dave Everett, Detective Hevelin, as well as all the firearms instructors. Trooper John Smith at the Colorado State Patrol. Sergeant Touchton and Dean Moretti for our tactics training. Sergeant Ammon. All of the district attorneys and various instructors from surrounding agencies. And last but certainly not least, our director, Mark Belisack. To my fellow classmates, it's been an extremely fun and memorable journey. The friendships that we have made these past 18 weeks will last a lifetime. With that being said, I'd like to leave you with one request. Throughout your career, often ask yourself, how do you want to be remembered? The decisions that you make and the way that you treat people do not only affect you, but they affect the entire law enforcement community. With that, I want to say congratulations to the graduating class of 2020.
So now at this time, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, who is Chief Mike Phibbs of the Auraria Police Department. Many years ago, I was a new Silverthorne police officer, and I was placed with a more senior officer one night for training. That was an amazing night neither one of us will ever forget, and it included an emergent response through most of Summit County as we were heading to a bar fight in Breckenridge. Of course, that more senior officer was Chief Mike Phibbs. And there are other stories that I could tell and other adventures that I've had with Chief Phibbs over the last several years. I could tell these stories, but he's a great supporter of this academy, and I don't want to jeopardize that. So with that, I would like to introduce to you Chief Mike Phibbs of the Auraria Campus Police Department.
Hi, I'm Mike Phibbs. I'm the Chief of Police for the Auraria campus. When I was asked to speak at your graduation, I imagined it would be something more traditional, like an auditorium full of excited families, excited graduates, guests, fellow chiefs, and a lot of pomp and circumstance. And then I found out because of the COVID virus that we're going to do it differently. We're going to be in an auditorium with just the graduates, and we would live stream the event. And then that changed too. And so now, here we are in my basement. But I don't think we have to stay in my basement. We have the opportunity to go anywhere we want, and maybe to the locations of some more famous speeches in history. Why don't you come on and join me? I'll show you what I mean. Okay.
I think you're kind of overshooting a little bit here.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if this is really the right tone for you specifically.
Okay. What would you suggest?
Here's something a little more hip.
Funny. My level of enthusiasm now is Michael Scott. I know I can do better than that. Give me something different. This seems appropriate. And as the banner says, mission accomplished. Great job, everybody. You finished the academy and you did it with a great spirit. You learned a lot over the last couple months, and it was challenging because of the COVID virus. But you excelled in everything you did. You learned so many new skills and you had to work so hard. When people say the police academy is only a semester of school, they don't realize that it's all day long, every day into the late evenings. They don't realize the homework you have to do, and they don't realize the number of hours you commit on the weekend. It's kind of a grueling process to get through as quickly as you did, even though you were slightly delayed because of our situation with the COVID virus. But you did it and you learned a lot. You learned the basic skills that you need to go on to your departments and be great police officers. But I would encourage you not to think that this is the end of your police training. This was the start of it. This is the end of the beginning, really. You have so much more to learn. You'll learn a lot from your FTOs. You'll learn a lot from your department instructors. And hopefully, and this is my ask of all of you, you keep learning throughout your careers. There is so much to know in police work, and it's so easy for us to focus on the things we're good at and the things we like about police work and just take those same classes over and over again because they're so rewarding because we like them so much. But expand your horizon a little bit. Take those classes in those areas you're not good at. Find the things that you can do better as police officers. Everybody can improve. I'm almost into this career 29 years, and I can improve. I still take classes and things that are new to me. Everybody can get better, and that's what our communities expect from us. Let me tell you about another scene that where we could go. Aboard the Starship Enterprise, one of the mottos of Star Trek was to boldly go where no one's gone before. Some of you are going to boldly go where no one's gone before. That's the interesting thing about police work. A lot of it is similar every day, but occasionally we get thrown curves that we never expected. In my career, I've seen things that we didn't ever expect, and it changed everything about how we did in law enforcement. I was working during the Columbine shooting. I worked at those funerals. That was something we never experienced before, and we changed. We changed our culture as police officers and deputy sheriffs. We won't wait anymore for people to get hurt. We're going to go in there and we're going to take the fight to the bad guys. We've seen how successful our training has become in that area. When we have active shooters now, police are putting them down in minutes. It's stopping quickly. It's still horrible and tragic, but we've risen to the challenge and we're there to take care of that. I was brushing my teeth when the second plane hit the towers in New York and had to rush to work because we didn't know what we were going to face that day. We entered a whole new world where we weren't now responsible for just local law enforcement. We had a role in international terrorism. We all had to rise up there. We all had to learn about weapons of mass destruction. We had to learn about chemical weapons and biological weapons and nuclear weapons. We had to buy more equipment and more training for that. That was something we hadn't had to do before, but that was our responsibility now, and we rose to that challenge. As we go through our lives, you never know what's going to happen. I was part of a team in Summit County that put together a plan for Y2K because we thought the world might come to an end and technology would stop. Now, fortunately, the people who were giving us guidance on that were wrong. New Year's Eve came that night. It was a fun celebration, and we went on with no problems. But that was something we hadn't had to plan for before either. Now we're in the middle of this COVID virus. Nobody could have planned for that. Police departments nationwide are still going to work every day. We're having to figure out how to do our job safely and in a new way. We had to adapt and change. We're boldly going where no one has gone before. And you as individuals will boldly go some places you've never gone before. You're going to go into situations that you weren't prepared for, that the instructors at the academy hadn't told you about, that you didn't get to see in FTO. But you'll do it boldly and you'll do it bravely. You'll rely on that basic training you had and apply it to the new situation you see, and I know you're going to do a great job. So, that's my message about boldly going forward. Let's go to some place that I'm just more familiar with and visit a little bit more. Here we are on the Auraria campus. This is my home. And I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I wanted to address the friends and family who might be watching this evening and explain what you've gotten yourself into. You are now associated with, married to, parents of, sister or brother of a police officer or a deputy sheriff. This is a whole new life, and for many of them, this is a vocation and a calling that you may never understand. But we appreciate you giving your person, your student, your graduate to us to march forward with us. They are going to lead an interesting life that will seem strange to you at times. You probably already thought it was strange that during the police academy they kept coming home and introducing you to things like pressure points, wrist lock control, arm bars, how they wanted to drive differently when they're in their personal cars. That's just the tip of it. As they get out and they start experiencing things for the first time, every day will be exciting for them, and you'll hear about every traffic stop, every call you went on, every person they met, because it's new and exciting and it's thrilling for them. Part of being a police officer is tough on families. We work weird hours, we have weird humor, we work at times when other people would say, why would you put up with that for what they pay you? Why would you listen to protesters call you horrible names? Why would you go to such horrible places? Why would you go to work when there's a virus out there that you could catch and die from? And the answer is because that's who we are. That's our nature. We just don't know any better. And so when you start living with and supporting your police officer, know that it's a hard lifestyle, but it's something they would never want to change. And have patience with them. There's going to be times when they're late from coming home from work. There's going to be times when there's action going on and you haven't heard from them and you worry. But know that the rest of us who are out there with them will have their backs all the time. So, much to learn for police families too, and we appreciate your gift of your new officer, your new deputy sheriff. And thank you so much for that. When I was a young cop, not a young cop, but not even a cop yet, I was still in the police academy. At our graduation, there was a patrol officer who had taught us patrol techniques, and he was from the Denver Police Department. His name was Chris Hogue. And right before we went out for graduation, we were lining up, and he said, guys, come here. And he gathered everybody in. So my classmates and I all gathered around him, and he said, there's something I want you to remember. And what he told us that day has stuck with me because it's probably the truest thing I ever heard about police work. He said, I want you to see something. He said, you see this? And he held his badge out for us. And he looked around, made sure he had eye contact with all of us, and he said, let me tell you something. This is the ticket to the greatest show on earth. Don't ever screw it up and don't ever embarrass it. And he was right. Being a police officer is a ticket to the greatest show on earth. When everybody else is behind that yellow caution tape, we're the ones on the inside. When everybody else wants to watch movies and TV shows about what we do, we're the ones out there doing it. when we're the ones sometimes literally at the greatest show on earth and backstage, it's unbelievable. What you'll get to see and what you'll get to do is the greatest show on earth. And don't screw it up. This is a symbol of public trust and your ticket to that show. Don't tarnish it and don't break it. You'll be proud that you have that on at the end of your career and everything you said and did. A couple other words of wisdom for you. I want you to think about this. You have the chance to do something that probably nobody else on the planet does. You will have a chance at some point to be the answer to a prayer. And what I mean is, when somebody is having the very worst experience they could imagine, when they are scared, when they're hurt, when they're desperate, they're going to pray for a solution. You get to be that solution. You're the person who can respond and be the answer to that prayer. And I want you to keep that in mind. Make sure you're ready to be there to answer that call. Make sure that you're physically prepared. Make sure you learned your tactics and exercised them well. Make sure you trained in everything you could so you could bring all the resources possible. You get to be the person who's the answer to somebody's prayer. As I wrap up this evening, I wish everybody a lot of luck. For my officers who are graduating this evening, congratulations. I look forward to swearing you in as soon as I see you next week. And I'd like to thank everybody and enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, for those inspiring words. And I will say, I've seen that video, and it is one of the most amazing keynote addresses that we have ever had here at Red Rocks Community College. I love that. Thank you very much. So now we're going to change gears, and I'm going to present the Academy Class Leadership Awards. The class leadership consisted of 4 squad leaders, 1 class vice president, and a class president. And even in a normal semester, there's so many things to coordinate a group through this process. But this semester, it became even more of an amazing job that these class leaders did, and they were voted on by their fellow classmates to these positions. So the first group I'm going to introduce to you are those that served as squad leaders this semester. The class is divided up into 4 squads of 6, or depending on which 5. Each of the squad leaders were in charge of their squads, coordinated their squads, kept them motivated. They just did a great job, really was. So I would like to thank all of them, and now I am going to read their names. Ruben Medina, Alton Peerless, Dylan Vakoff, Sam Kilburn, and Robert Kim. If you're standing near any one of these people right now as you're watching this video, give them a huge round of applause and a handshake and a thank you very much from me. Thank you, squad leaders, for your leadership and for being great role models for your class. So now I want to recognize class president Joe Galvez and class vice president Adam Ross. Galvez and Ross really earned this award by putting in countless hours before, after normal class hours, coordinating last-minute schedule changes, and there are a bunch this semester. So once again, as an academy director, I could not single-handedly effectively coordinate a group like this. So it is with the help of the class leadership, class president and vice president that make this program possible. So with that, class president Joe Galvez and class vice president Adam Ross, thank you very much, and we will be recognizing you with a plaque. So thank you very much. Now we're going to do the presentation of our special awards. There are several areas of the Academy, and Academy is not like a traditional college class. It's 39 credits long, and it has subjects in it as diverse as an 8-credit basic law class, or 3-credit driving class, or there's a 12-credit section on patrol procedures. There's a lot of different areas. The top performers in some of these areas we like to recognize for some of the work they put into, and the reason we recognize them is because these are the people that are the people that we want to recognize for really pushing themselves through these skills areas. And the first one is the Top Fitness Award, or we call it the Top PT Award. Our fitness program had to adapt, and in the end, our students ended up doing workouts at home, sending the workouts to our instructors, and the instructors would give them feedback. And also at the beginning there was a fitness test, and at the end there was a fitness test. The one student who really came through and had the highest score on those fitness tests is our top fitness award, or top PT award, and that award goes to Dylan Vakoff. Congratulations, Dylan. Our next award is our Top Arrest Control Tactics Award. Our lead instructor there, oh, by the way, thank you to our fitness and PT instructors, Rob Hilly and Nate Neidig of the Arvada Police Department. They just did an amazing job, and including all the things they had to deal with this semester. So next is our Top Arrest Control Tactics Award, and our lead instructor, Eva Graziano, got this program through right before everything shut down, so we were so very lucky that that happened. But she did an amazing job. She has an amazing group of instructors that work with her, and she has to make a judgment call on who did the best in performing the skills of arrest control and putting handcuffs on people and doing it safely and effectively so that nobody gets injured. That includes the person that these officers will be arresting and the officers themselves. With all that being said, the one person that performed the skill and rose to the top of all their other classmates to get the Top Arrest Control Tactics Award, or Eva likes to call it the Top Cuff Award, is Sean Skates. Congratulations, Sean. Thank you very much. Also in our Arrest Control Tactics program, we had one student who put in extra time with their fellow classmates, encouraging them, going beyond in helping others, because this program takes a lot of practice and you can't just attend class and get it done. You have to work on it outside even of those class hours. And one student was so supportive of their classmates, coordinated a lot of that, helped out their fellow classmates, had a great attitude during this whole thing. So we are providing a special commendation, the Team Spirit Award, to Jacob Ruiz. Congratulations, Jacob, and thank you. All right, next we come to our driving class. Police driving is a very complicated skill to teach, and to learn things like high speed, steering, and pursuit tactics, it takes a lot, and there's also a written test. There is almost no greater area of liability in law enforcement and than learning how to drive correctly in emergency situations. In the end, the students have to take a timed test where they drive through a cone pattern and do certain things that they have to complete without hitting the cones, and they're shooting for a certain time to actually just qualify, and then we rank out the fastest time as well. And there's also a written test in this program. So with that, the one student who rose to the top and really pushed themselves hard on the police driving portion was Sam Kilbert. Congratulations, Sam. Thank you very much. Now, our lead firearms instructor, Dave Everett, has asked me to present the Top Shooting Award, or sometimes we call it the Top Gun Award. Our firearms program and the people that run it are amazing. And they really are the best in the state. I sometimes attend the first day of firearms training and I look at someone shoot, and it makes me a little nervous, and I wonder, is this person really gonna make it? Do they really deserve to have a gun in their hand? By the end of the program, I watch the students shoot and I'm like, yeah, they're getting it. This person really has learned how to handle a gun safely and effectively. But there are also scored shoots where the targets are scored in a certain way, and there's a little bit of competition between the students. It was very close. We thought one person was going to get Top Gun for a while, but in the end, this student really picked up on their shooting scores, and in the end, they were just an amazing shot pretty much through the whole program. And that student was Jacob Anthony. Thank you, Jacob. Congratulations. We are now at the time to present the final class award. Even though it's presented last, it is not the least of awards. In fact, it is one of the most prestigious awards that can be bestowed in this academy. This award is called the Top Academic Award. The reason why we recognize this is we at Red Rocks really want to produce educated cops that know the law. And through that process, these students have to take, well, I think I mentioned it before, an 8 credit hour basic law class, but it's split up into different sections and different topics. And then there are tests. And these tests are pretty much almost every 2 weeks. And sometimes there are 100 questions, sometimes there are 200 questions, but the students really have to know the material to get through and answer those tests within the allotted time limit. It's a lot of work. We say on our website that the Red Rocks Academy is academically rigorous, and it is. One student really came out as the top academic award. It was a tight competition, don't get me wrong, and there were the points difference between actually the top 3 in the academic. It's all less than a couple of points, so it was very close all the way up to the end. But this student came to the top and finally, at the end, did a great job. And so I would like to award, in fact, it is my honor and privilege to present the top academic award to Sam Kilburn. Thank you very much. I will now recognize the Spring 2020 graduating class of the Red Rocks Community College Law Enforcement Academy. I want to express my sincere appreciation to all of this class. In my 3 years as director of 6 academies, an academic instructor at several other colleges, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, multiple agencies, I have never worked with a finer group who performed so well in the face of extensive and actual adversity. What else can be said about all of you except that you truly have the spirit of law enforcement in you? So with that, I will read the names of our graduates. Jacob Anthony, Trent Asher, Giovanni Bolanos, Cameron Cox, Trace Elmgreen, Joseph Galvez, John Gashler, Sonia Gomrick, Daniel Hammond, Samuel Kilburn, Robert Kim, Krista Lloyd, Ruben Medina, Roberto Nuno, Alton Peerless, Adam Ross, Jacob Ruiz, Sean Skates, Emily Solverson, Jordan Sterling, Christopher Stevenson, Dylan Vakoff, and Jessica Yates. Congratulations to all of these graduates of the Red Rocks Community College Law Enforcement Academy. If you're standing near them, if you're with them, give them a big handshake, a hug. Although I've always said there's no hugging in law enforcement, now you can hug, and just congratulate them for an amazing job. With that, at the end of our program, we normally show a class video, and we do have a class video. It was provided to us by one of our students who ended up getting deployed with the National Guard, so he will be back with us in the fall semester. And that student I would like to recognize is Isaac Castillo. He will be back. He's currently deployed, and he's going to come back and be with us. So with that, I would like to introduce to you, or introduce, the class video.
Your shoe size, ay, 2 katanas. I make it hot like we in Punta Cana. Ducking cameras, stuck in traffic, up in some balaclavas. Get savage, we come to ravage, flexing like Muhammad Ali, standing tall all over you average. Make way, black rage on my feet, wearing black shades, like I'm paid in these streets. It's a dark day. Watch the sharks spray a week. Take your diamonds off, you call it Blue Street, 'cause it's war time. Make way, black rage on my feet, wearing black shades. while you have me. Yeah, watch them weapons all fall to my feet. Cause you floating up in the air, realizing I put you there, realize you live in your stand. Because none of your dogs is there. Where they at? Who hiding from the truth? Just like you, lying through your tooth. Talking bulletproof, where's the proof? All my dogs and sounds, cut her up your town. Word the mama, watch this cut sound. Make your favorite rappers look like pounds. 100 pounds, bonafide, take your shooters out. Run the bell, home and take the mic, put it on the ground. I'm a grandstand, ain't nobody touching on my halo. Black noses sticking quick like Play-Doh, what do they know? Black rage on my feet, wearing black shades. Like I'm paid in these streets, it's a dark day. Watch the sharks spray a week, take your diamonds off, you call it Blow Street. Cause it's war time. Black rage on my feet, wearing black shades. Like I'm paid in these streets, it's a dark day. Watch the sharks spray a week, take your diamonds off, you call it Blow Street. Cause it's war time. Cause it's war time. Cause it's war time. Cause it's war time.
I will be a rock from my perch. If you walk the ridge, you will find the marks, the scars. Kneel down by the tree under the setting star. We never say goodbye. Just let me hold the light. We never say goodbye. I'll see you on this side or the other where the desert sun kisses the sky. Baby, hold the line and keep it in your eyes and promise that you'll dream of me beyond the walls of time. In the end, we lay beside. Look up at the light. Just let me hold the light. Just let me hold the light.
That concludes our virtual graduation ceremony for the spring 2020 semester. Normally at this time, we would gather in the room where we were graduating from for food and for fellowship. And I want all of you, wherever you are, to get with the graduate that's a member of your family, get with your own family, have some food, have some fellowship, recognize the efforts that they did this semester, because it truly was amazing. But in the end, when you're getting together with your friends and family, remember that, especially during these days, that is what is most important, and that is why we do what we do. Thank you all very much. Please stay in touch. I hope to see you all soon, and that is the end of our virtual graduation. Thank you.